So I will admit, like, when I saw the news on it and I heard that it was Lauren Sheba, I mean, it's hard for me not to feel the way that I've felt over the last several years, because the last time we saw Lauren outside of Battle for the Grid, she showed up, had a job, and failed.
It's Morphin time!
All right, what's happening, everyone? Welcome back for another edition of Power Rangers Academia. The boys are back. It's been a long while. I kind of lost count of the weeks, the months, but you know, it's not like Hasbro's watching. But we'll get into that, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm starting off guns blazing as per usual, and who wouldn't? So we have a lot to talk about. So we're just gonna get right into it. Isaac, you haven't been here for a bit, so floor is yours. You can tell us why the hell you missed out and what's been going on.
It's been a long time, guys. I was at the gym. I was practicing my roundhouse kicks. And next thing you know, I missed my target. I go flying. And I break my ankle in 2 places, man. I was out for the count. And come to find out, I was about to be replaced by an 11-year-old. I was like, yo, there's no way. I have to heal up. Yeah. I have to heal up. Yeah. In reality, guys, a very cold February night, evening, whatever you may say. There was black ice outside my unit. I slipped, fell, and yes, I did break my ankle in 2 spots. No surgery was needed, thank goodness. I was out for a little while, but I am back now. But while I was gone, there was so much going on from stuff that was not going on in the Power Rangers fandom.
Facts.
Like, it's like I left,
that's facts.
but I was never gone, because it's like the status of the series is the same as before I hurt myself.
Yeah.
Like, that is insane. I didn't really miss anything. Outside of some comic announcements and whatnot, and apparently a new mobile game that's out that not many people even knew about. I can't say nobody cares about, because here on this panel we do have somebody that's the only thing they play now. We have to force them to stop playing and bring him here. But it's like, dang. But no, I'm glad to be back, and anybody here that reached out to me, seeing how I was doing, I appreciate every single one of you guys. I can stand up now. Anybody that saw me at Combo Breaker knows that I was on crutches and on a walking boot. At Evo, I still have my crutches as well. Now I don't have any of that. So next time you guys see me in person, listen, just don't ask me to run. But outside of that, I can walk. I can move around. No more help. Thank goodness. Hopefully it stays this way. And I feel Rocky's pain. I trust me. I feel Rocky's pain.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I was not expecting that setup to happen with talking Rocky, connecting it. I was like, wow. I was like, where's he going with this? And I was like, holy shit, he's doing this. So good shit. All right.
I think it's ironic how you share that now.
Right?
That's what I get for talking all that shit.
That's all the karma. All the karma.
That's what I get. Yo, karma is real, guys. Karma is real.
That's for freaking memeing on his cousin.
Guys, I promise you, hold me to it. The next time Rocky's at a convention, I'm gonna have him sign my walking boot or my crutches. I'm telling you that right now.
I mean, that kind of makes sense though.
I'm gonna do it.
It's on brand.
I'm gonna do it.
He would probably do it too. Like, he seems like a good sport.
I'm gonna do it.
He's self-aware at least.
Well. To a degree. All right, so like I mentioned, there's a lot that we got to go into. So yeah, I guess we can start from wherever you guys want to go, and I'm just riding the wave here, because like Isaac kind of touched on, there's a whole lot of nothing. So
we're finding ways to talk about stuff.
Yeah, it's like the sad part is, like, you know, last month was the anniversary of the franchise. But most of us didn't know until like the week/day of, because, and it's not even because like it's something we forget. It's just because like nobody was really talking about it in the way that you would. And granted, it's like, I'm sure Power Rangers Twitter was, but I kind of have tuned them out. Like they kind of fell out of my algorithm for the most part, because I'd be ignoring them most of the time. So it's like I didn't even realize until I checked my Facebook memories. I was like, oh shit, like today's Power Rangers Day.
Power Rangers Day.
And it's like it's such a like a mixed feeling because I want to be like happy about things or like celebrate the good stuff about this franchise, but there's just been a lot of like a lot of shitty things that's been happening. Like, let's be real. Like, and like Uchi said, like outside the comics, but even the comics ended in that time too. So like we have a new comic coming out. We'll talk about that. But like outside of that, like it's been really, really dry. And there are things. Yeah. There are things that are coming, but it's like few and far between, and most of it's just like the fandom arguing with each other.
Per usual.
Like that's basically
it's just
the vast majority of it.
To me, it's just so ironic because like Power Month was a Hasbro thing. Like they came up with that.
Yeah, that was was a big deal. Like remember, like when it first happened, like every week or it was like something.
They'll announce some stuff, and then like this year, Power Month, formerly Power Month, they were dead silent, radio silent, absolutely nothing at all. And then even Power Rangers Day, I was gonna like check all their socials. It doesn't seem like they tweet very much on their actual Hasbro Twitter account. So I couldn't really look at that anyway. So, but like I don't know their other socials. I didn't really get to check, but it didn't. I mean, obviously, it doesn't seem like they said anything. Even if they did, like it's not like they had anything to say for real, except for like "Happy Birthday, Power Rangers" or whatever.
Yeah, they're treating this like the McRib, son. This is right here just seasonal, so that obviously they're gonna just not have it all year round, and then when it finally does come back, they're gonna do this big celebration. The fact that we're even talking, the fact that I can compare Power Rangers right now to the McRib is already a problem. Yeah, I did see the stuff that is being auctioned off, right? I know that people had a lot of things to say about that.
Crazy.
At the end of the day, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna say it sucks, but obviously they have to make their money somehow. We know this. Listen, you don't have to be a business major to know this. They have to make their money somehow, and I just hope whoever buys these things, this memorabilia, can cherish it, can treasure it, and actually treat it well, so that way it can last the test of time, and then maybe be passed down to a new generation of fans, whether they're whether it's 10, 15 years from now, or whether it's 50. I do think that these fans, whoever buys these costumes and this memorabilia, these items, is going to take much better care of it than Hasbro.
I'd hope so.
And one thing that I also saw, speaking of last month, convention that I'm very mad that we missed.
Wait,
move on. It's not our fault. It's Uchi's fault, but it's not our fault.
Right.
Now,
what were you gonna say, Tech? Wait. Tech was
before we move on, I was just gonna mention the stuff that it's kind of funny, like seeing stuff that other people were doing stuff for Power Rangers Day.
Oh yeah.
Like we were talking about how like Gigabash had that really cool Power Rangers.
Oh my God, yeah.
Inspired Megazord character and like the Goldar thing. And then we had like the humble bundle with like Boom Comics.
Yeah.
And then
they have a lot of humble bundles now.
Basically the entire series,
comic run,
comic book series,
literally from like the beginning to the end, all the filler stuff, all the graphic novels,
yeah. Like that's a really cool Power Rangers Day present. And then like, and then I think one of the other, because like they license out the figures to other companies now, and I think one of those like probably had like a Power Rangers figure that they showed off on Power Rangers Day or something like that. I forget which one. But
I think they also they showed the Green Ranger for the game too that day. Like the
they did?
Oh yeah, they did.
They released the Green. But come on, let's be real.
But is
that even a surprise?
It's not a surprise, but like
now I'll be mad if he's DLC and we gotta pay for him.
The Green Ranger wasn't in the Super Nintendo Power Rangers game.
He wasn't, but he was in the Xbox game, and the Xbox and PlayStation game.
I think they said that
he wasn't in a Super Nintendo game though. If you're talking about the movie.
Yeah, for the game, they said that he's unlockable.
Tommy was in it. So Tommy was in, not the Green Ranger, but Tommy was in it. All right.
What are you saying?
No, I was saying he's unlockable. So we
okay.
Good.
I hope because I want to play as him, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna be playable like off rip.
Yeah, it's
though.
like we gotta
you probably have to beat the game like Shredder's
beat
Revenge. You beat the game
first. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, I hope not, son. Don't matter. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's whatever. The whole comic stuff, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I actually don't care. I'm one of those people where if you guys talk about spoilers, it doesn't matter to me because I'm not gonna read all those pages of comics, but I'll keep up with the story because they are intriguing and interesting. So I mean, you know, I did see the art for the what they're doing now, and I thought it was pretty cool. I just wish it was like I say official. What's the word I'm looking for? Like I just wish there was you're actually gonna do something with that.
Or
we're
like
gonna see that again
that
outside of the comics, but we know that's not happening. I think we all have to come to terms and we have to accept that this is probably the end, and we have to treat this like any other thing that got discontinued. You know, we're lucky we got as much out of it as we have. Honestly, we have how many seasons of this? We got more than what we deserved. I'm gonna keep it real. We didn't even think any of this stuff was possible. We're lucky we even got Cosmic Fury when we did. We're a lot. I'm 33 years old, and I can't believe I'm still talking about Power Rangers. I was talking about Power Rangers when I was 5 years old. There's so many shows outside of Monday Night Raw. I can't think of anything else that lasted this long.
Run that long.
I mean, the Teenage Mutant Turtles, Transformers. True. Like, come on. There's a lot of things that Star Wars. You mean
to tell me? Hold on. You mean Transformers? But a Hasbro IP is what you're telling me has lasted this long?
They literally they bought it and didn't do shit with it.
Yeah, but you know, at least but with Transformers, right? Optimus Prime isn't everything, right? It's not like they got they got new Transformers every season and replace Optimus Prime, right? They literally run with the same formula that worked all those years ago, and they're still getting rehashed. I was playing Overwatch and I saw a dude with fucking
that's a deeper
Optimus
discussion,
Prime.
I think.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like they're doing the same thing. As opposed to Power Rangers, you have a bunch of different things. You have so many different main characters throughout the years. You know, it's different in that case. And the Ninja Turtles, listen, it's always been the main. I'm not gonna say it's always been the main four, but the main four are obviously in everything. And then sometimes they'll throw in like an extra new character or whatever that doesn't last long past that season.
Yeah, but we talked about that in great detail in the past. Like, it's like a formulaic issue that happened with Power Rangers, unfortunately, when they were basically flying too close to the sun. They were literally trying to see how much they could get away with just copy pasting from the Sentai footage and doing as little as they could with original concepts and stories and whatnot. We've talked about this before. It's just so dumb, and it's beyond sad.
When you think about it too, like they did get as much as they could out of Mighty Morphin. They got 3 whole seasons out of Mighty Morphin, so it's not like they didn't try to do that.
Yeah.
Like, if it was up to them, they probably would have did Mighty Morphin forever.
They probably would have. Yeah, it's like they literally would have if they had the like infinite footage and Japan was willing to just keep that Z2 project going forever.
Yeah.
At this point, we'll get you guys more excited. Would it be a new season or would it be new merch? Like if they bring back the Lightning Collection with stuff that hasn't come out before.
I mean, honestly, I would rather them continue the show in some way, but at this point, because I don't need more stuff.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But I mean, at the same time, if they came out with the Gen Lightning Collection, I would finally buy that. You know, like that's the one that when I look at my collection, I'm like, yo, how do we not get Gen, yo?
Yeah, like there's a few
that's just like makes
at this
no
point.
sense.
Honestly, I would say that I'm more interested in the helmets. Than the actual figures.
That's
like,
true.
I would definitely buy like a Zack helmet and a Zeo Gold helmet. Like, those I'd definitely buy those. But like
same.
the actual figures, like I'm kind of cool. Like I got as much as I need, really.
I cracked out way too long, way too hard for no freaking reason. I had a rule thinking, I was gonna protect myself from buying too many, and I ended up getting way too many.
Look at the back. Look at the back. Look at behind Uchi right now. I know y'all see that.
Which direction? I don't know.
Okay.
I could see.
So for it'll be your left.
My left. That is.
Hold on. So the camera is inverted.
Okay, so this right here. So that's all comics.
Listen, that's all Power Rangers. That's what I'm saying. It's just Power Rangers nonstop. So all this money on Power Rangers, Joe. Whether it's reading material or whether it's figures, they got them. They got all of us. You gotta keep it real. They got all of us, yo.
That's facts.
Yeah. Well. So where do we go from here?
Well, I guess since you mentioned the comics, I'll just like briefly talk a little bit about that because like You know, I've been keeping up with them. I won't get into spoilers because I know Tech wants to read them, and I
Me
know
too.
Uchi wants to catch up.
Yeah.
I'll say a couple of things because the comics, the main series, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, is over as we know it. It ended with the Darkest Hour event, which was pretty crazy for all intents and purposes. Like, it really was kind of like a all-encompassing, like every like bit of lore that the comics ever got into was touched in some kind of way, which was dope. But I still felt like the last issue didn't really give me as much closure as I wanted. It wasn't that it was bad, but it definitely felt rushed compared to the endings for some of the other arcs, where it's like, oh, I felt like there was still more story to tell here. Like, I felt like, you know, they were building towards some stuff, and then they kind of just like, was like, it's over, you know? Now, granted, they are somewhat continuing it in Power Rangers Prime, where Power Rangers Prime is, for all intents and purposes, a sequel series. But it's like, it's part of like a new status quo that happens because of the ending. And that universe is still interesting. Like, I'm curious to see what they do with it. But I doubt that some of those stories that I was hoping had more closure will get closure in this new continuity. But that being said, like, Prime does seem cool because, like, they announced, like, the main character is Lauren Sheba, and she's kind of, like, around in this, like, Neo Angel Grove that happens. And, like, it's like the design looked cool, but just overall, like, I'm curious to see what happens because I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, there's a lot of questions that arise from the ending where it's like, okay, I want to see what happens. And Lauren is a cool character, so she's a popular character. I don't know if this Lauren is gonna have the memories of everything that's happened prior, like in the comics continuity even. But it's gonna be crazy. Like, I don't think it's gonna be the same as some of the other Power Ranger spin-offs we've had, because we have a bunch, and so it's been somewhat hit or miss with what they've done. Like, I haven't really been keeping up with Ranger Academy. I kind of like softly dropped that series. Like, it might be good. I just like was overwhelmed, and I was like, I don't really like, this doesn't really matter to everything else, so I'm just gonna.
So that's still going on. I thought that was just
I believe so. Yeah, it like I don't know how long the series is gonna go for, but I know an issue came out not that long ago.
It's like in its 10th issue, believe it or not.
It's gone on for a minute.
Which I honestly did not think it was gonna get that far in. I thought it was gonna be like maybe 4 or 5 at most.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that was the case, but it's just been going and going and going. And so, like, granted, I know it ties into certain things, but.
I just want to congratulate them for the amount of like freaking gonads that they have right now. Like, they have 2 series out right now, and neither of them are Mighty Morphin. Like, that's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other that's the other like cool compromise with Prime, because Power Rangers Prime, like, obviously, like, the Mighty Morphin characters are probably gonna be the forefront.
Be in it,
but it's a way for them to, like, the new continuity that they establish allows for more cross-contamination of the series. So it's like, you're not just going to be getting Mighty Morphin characters showing up. Like, there's going to be characters from other continuities showing up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm assuming is going to, like, kind of carry this whole thing, you know, at least in terms of my personal interest. Because it's like, I want to see who's going to show up from where. Like, that's kind of what made the comics from before interesting. It's just like, they would find ways to bring in space characters and, like, you know, turbo characters, like fan favorites would show up but they do it in a way that made sense. Yeah. But now they have no continuity that they have to follow particularly, so they could just do whatever the hell they want. You know, so.
Yeah, I definitely got to catch up. I will be soon.
Yeah, listen, you read it and then you tell me.
Yeah, trust me. I mean, we'll talk about it once everybody's caught up, for sure.
Oh my gosh, if we're waiting on Tech, it's gonna be a long.
I mean, hey, look, like, you know, like, I mean, hey, well, here's the other thing you could do. Here's the other thing you could do. Like, there's YouTube channels where you could get your summaries.
I'm not
you know,
doing
so
that.
you-
Hell no.
not you tech, but Isaac
Oh.
could do that. Like,
Nah, listen, nah.
I will like Isaac. I will like, and I will like agree with you at some point. Like I'm wearing this Cobra Kai shirt, and I actually have not watched season 6 yet.
Point proven. Point.
that's only
proven.
5 episodes too.
JD,
I gotta catch up.
you
I
better
ca- I
DM me
watched it.
personally
I watched
because you're waiting on him. This discussion never gonna happen.
I'll be busy, man.
Uchi saw this coming,
I
which
will
is why
say
he
that.
walked away. He knew he was gonna say some crazy shit like this.
Sheesh, I can't believe it. But anyway, like either way, like the comic stuff has been dope. It's just like I'm kind of glad that we have a break because I kind of like just comic wise in general. Like I've been kind of burned out, so I needed a little bit of break to catch up on things like other things. But the comics have been good, so I'll be reading it whenever it comes. I think it's like October or November is when it comes out, so I'll check that out. when
Prime.
it
Oh, I thought it was already out. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, no. We got time, so I still gotta catch up on Massive.
I can catch up in that time.
Yeah, you got time.
He got time. We don't. Waiting on him.
Damn.
But
I wish
yeah,
Uchi
other-
was here
other
for
than
you.
that-
I wish Uchi
Yeah.
was here for it.
you got any thoughts, Uchi?
About what? The Prime comics?
Yeah, I mean, I basically just said
Just in general, yeah.
Well,
we all know.
So I will admit, like, when I saw the news on it and I heard that it was Lauren Sheba, I mean, it's hard for me not to feel the way that I've felt over the last several years because, I mean, the last time we saw Lauren outside of Battle for the Grid, she showed up, had a job, and failed. It was
So you're
literally
not a
Well,
fan.
no. Well, what about in the comics though? Like she was a main part of Shattered Grid.
But
No,
I
no,
kind of
no,
feel
no.
like I almost feel like because Lauren had such little screen time, she's kind of like an what's the word? Like a
She's, you know what she is?
like an empty like palette character. They can do whatever
she's
they want with
the
this character.
she's the fucking Boba Fett of Power Rangers, yo.
what?
You know how in Star Wars but listen. And I say this because like to relate to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because everybody hypes up Boba Fett like he was this crazy ass character, right? But in
Oh,
the
I
reality,
see what
when
you're
you
saying.
go back and watch Star Wars, he didn't really do that much. He got popular off of his mystique.
Who's
'Cause there was
hyping
a lot
up
of people-
Lauren?
Bro,
the
Lauren,
Power Rangers fandom.
Name them.
They're
I
just
want
like,
names.
I can't name names,
Exactly,
but the
'cause they
truth
don't
is, it's
exist.
just
Stop
like
lying to the people.
everybody's like,
Nobody cares about Lauren Sheba.
Lauren Sheba is like, oh, she like, you know, what's her deal? She only showed up.
Nobody
she didn't
cares
do that
about what
much.
her deal is. We
You
know her deal.
But that's
She's
what
a
it is.
failure.
It's like it's basically that same deal though.
No,
It's
it's
like,
not.
Okay, maybe
I don't know if you guys feel so strongly about this.
Phantom Ranger is more Boba Fett than Lauren Sheba is, but that you know what I'm trying to say.
I do understand what you are saying
How
with
you
that
trying to insult this
analogy,
man right now?
but even with that, like, okay, I see what you're saying, and I also see what Isaac's saying
I know you
because
do.
because I have
Nobody's
seen
really
not
actually
one
said
person.
that. Nobody's actually said that.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk, Ooch.
Yeah. Like not like I'm not even trying to like feed into the crap right now, but like on some real shit. Like back when Grid was about to add her, I specifically remember having one of the early episodes of this actually Power Rangers Academia, and that was basically a time to teach the folks that played the game who these characters were as they were about to be released. And I literally remember showing everybody, I'm like, guys, she shows up in the last 4 episodes of Super Samurai and fucking fails
Gets
at
caught.
the one thing that she was supposed to do. The whole show hyped her up.
She was training the whole time.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
to do
That's
that
what I'm
one
saying.
thing.
The whole show, they tell you she was training to, you know, be a part of the reason why they defeat the big bad. She comes through, gets cooked. And it's just like, as someone, I'm sure, I'm not even saying this because, like, you know, whatever. But I know that if I was, like, any of these young kids that grew up with samurai and saw that shit
You would
happen,
have thought she was whack.
they would probably
compared to
think the
Jaden.
same thing. Like,
Yep.
you know, like I'm telling you, like
Not my Red Ranger.
You know what it is though? It's because she's the first female Red Ranger on screen, like
sure.
official. So I think that from a franchise lore perspective, she got blown up because up until recently, she was the only on-screen female Red Ranger that we had of note. You know, now we have Amelia and Cosmic Fury, so that's a bit more of like a legitimate thing. But up until then, it's just like, oh, here's this novelty, you know?
yeah, I mean,
I still
yeah, go
kind
ahead.
of stand by what I said when it comes to Lauren though too. Like I feel like she's a character where you're supposed to assume that she's OD, but you don't really
Yeah.
know anything about her, and she's kind of like an open book.
That's what I mean,
Like
yeah.
you can kind of do.
First
whatever you
impression
want
is
with her,
everything.
and-
We saw her get cooked. All right. She's gonna have to bounce back hard just because she's the first
I'm
woman
kinda
Red
whatever.
Ranger.
I
Doesn't mean
was-
she's the
She was
best.
cool.
Feel
She was
any way
cool.
about
Like I think that the comics did right by her because she was cool in the Shattered Grid stuff, which that did a lot of mileage, and then she was good in the game, so that did like she's better in everything outside of the season she was in. But
You know,
you
this
could argue that that's the case for most Power Rangers things, which is
Yeah.
kind of why Power Rangers needs to get into more shit.
But it sounds
This
to
kinda
me
like
like they
fall
really
out.
want
That's gonna be
to cater
Yeah,
to the Lauren comic fans as opposed to the Lauren, show fans. So again, if you think about it that way, I guess it makes sense.
Well,
I
yeah,
still
and
don't
that's-
care. My
yeah,
opinion of her
comic
still does not change. But
but
I don't
that's
think
kind of the
anybody
point.
that. See, now this is the thing, right? Like I don't know how many of the new Power Rangers fans actually read the comics or actually care about
that's a
that
good
kind of
point.
stuff.
yeah.
I think that people like us who've been, already invested so much time and money into the franchise, our opinions tend to be a little bit more strong. But I haven't heard of anybody you already know what I don't like seeing
Yeah.
on social media. The kind of fans I don't like on Twitter.
The ones that
right.
you argue with out of your own will.
Oh, of
yes,
course.
those
By the way,
fans.
guys, when I argue, I do not represent Power Rangers Academia. I represent Mega Isaac X and Mega Isaac X. only.
Thank you for that
Put
note.
out
I'll
there.
ding that shit.
Okay. My opinions are strictly my own, which means they're facts. I don't see any of these people that are so tough on the show and on the series itself talk about anything regarding the comics. They do not care.
That's a good point. Well, okay. The one thing I will
know-
say about this Lauren thing is that I said what I said not to like shit on her. I just say that to remind of the facts. But as someone that's been an avid person behind the comics, I can at least say that if any character deserves some sort of like re-up to change people's thought process about her, if they're like on in like people, if you think like similar to me with what you saw on the show and you go and read the comic, it's like this is their opportunity, which I have all the trust in them. They've proven time and time again that they could basically take anyone and make
Like
you
Rocky?
care like Rocky. So if they can make you care about fucking Rocky, I'm sure they'll get everybody to jump on the Lauren bandwagon, no problem. So I'm not worried about it at all.
I got a quick question for you guys.
All right.
Since we're talking about like that, so what if we talk about instead of Lauren? Like what? I mean, I obviously don't know what led into this. Like I don't know if the ending it led into.
Yeah, same
Lauren
here,
picking
I don't
Lauren.
know.
Like what if they picked a different character that similarly has like not as
Like
much
mysterious.
a character that's not known as much that they could have did. Like imagine like if Prime was about like Trey or like the Phantom Ranger.
I would have
Yo,
taken that.
well,
Phantom Ranger already
somebody
had
else.
his
Phantom
he had
Ranger,
his time. Yeah,
they like
does not-
explain his history
Yeah,
a little
I
bit,
guess
which
so.
kind of like, but I do like if on that note though, there are plenty of characters that would be interesting for us. Like, if you took like Ryan or
Yeah, that would be another cool one.
Someone from like Jungle Fury, like like I don't know, like like just taking like a random character that could be
Yeah.
expanded upon.
Or like
You know.
Cam or somebody like that. Like he'd be
Yeah,
another
like Cam,
cool
yo,
one.
that would be
That's-
fire.
Oh yeah, that would be
Yo,
cool.
and I dead ass would read like a story about the the Samurai Rangers. Him in particular, he had a good story.
Yeah.
I'll probably
But yeah.
pick somebody. This is gonna be a hot take. This is gonna be a hot take, but we already know what the worst season is. I would get somebody from Operation Overdrive. Try to give him So, you know.
Give him some
Don't say
shine.
ties in.
I'm not
Don't.
saying him. Hell no. You already know why I'm not. I'm not gonna go into that, guys. That'll
You
be a
know,
whole different
like-
episode.
like-
Like just me, myself only.
Low key. Even though, like, you know, there's all that controversy around Sam Benta, like his character in a better written season would have actually been kind of interesting.
So in the comic,
Because-
it'll work.
Is that the Black Ranger?
Yeah, because he was like a thief. Like he was a sorry, not a
Yeah.
thief, but he was a
Oh, thief?
cat
Does he
burglar
steal
or
things from the
whatever.
Chicago Bulls catering table?
But, that's insane. But
But you know what I mean? It was like a one shot about like
yeah,
you know tying that into his Ranger stuff would be interesting, or like using that type of character archetype. Because I liked how and they attempted at trying to show like, hey, this character is not fully trustworthy, but he still kind of leans on the good side.
Got it, Tech.
one thing I will say, even I've watched lately a lot more Overdrive than I'm willing to admit. But that
Okay.
one arc where like
I'm not
he,
gonna
like,
judge you. I'm not judging
turns
you.
on them was actually kind of cool.
It was interesting.
I'm not because not,
Like,
not by will. It's
like
because of the Roku
for a
channel,
bad
that's all I'm
season.
saying.
I was
Yeah.
literally gonna ask you. Do you still watch the
That,
Roku
but yeah,
channel?
that like it
'Cause
was like
that
an
makes
episode or
sense.
two. Where yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it was like
It's always
yeah,
on
it was
in the
a short
background.
thing.
If I'm at home, it's on in the background.
You probably know
It's
the theme song
on right now.
You probably
actually.
got that theme song running through your head all day.
You know what's hilarious? They probably show Operation Overdrive more than any other season on there. I have
That's
no
insane
idea
to
why.
me.
Not even joking.
They're
Not
trying to
Not
force
even
people to
like-
I
watch
have
it.
no idea why.
They probably got like an actor working on the, you know, at Roku. We're just like, yo, like this is gonna
Like-
be.
Or probably it's the least expensive to
Most
show.
shown seasons are Mighty Morphin and Operation Overdrive. No idea why.
That's
That's
interesting.
weird. That's so weird.
Yo, this dude really has watched Operation Overdrive more season, the most out of any other season. And that's okay. I understand why. Thank you for providing context, because you would definitely have been judged by other people that did not know that you watch the Roku channel as much
Yeah.
as you do. We know
Man,
you talk
I-
about the Roku
but-
channel all the time.
I bet the reason why they play it so much is because they see that Tech has Roku on anyway.
Yeah, they're like,
and
oh,
they were like,
someone's
you know
watching
what? Let's just leave this shit on the background. Let's see if he still tunes in. And then they don't notice the number moving at all because it's literally just
That's probably,
Tech.
that's probably what it is. It's their highest rated season because of Tech.
Because
Tech's the
of
only one
technique,
watching
bro.
it. They're like, I'm not, yo, they must really like
Fucking
this. They're
server.
keeping it on.
Oh man,
Yo,
that's actually really
that's
funny.
hilarious.
All right. Well, but yeah,
yeah,
as
so-
far as comics
so-
goes, I'm
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be locked in for it. I just have to find some time to actually catch up. But
Yeah,
you know,
hopefully,
Yeah,
like
I would
whenever
actually.
you guys catch up, we'll have a round table. Because I mean, it's not going anywhere, so we're gonna have to, you know, I'll be down to talk about it. Because by the time you guys catch up, it'll be like a good refresher for me.
When you catch up, I catch
Yeah.
up.
yeah. Well, yeah.
So,
I I will say that like this is probably like a good transition to like whatever we're gonna be talking about next anyway. But of all the things that are getting sold or like auctioned off or whatever the case is with a lot of the actual property material of the Power Rangers brand, I'm very happy that Boom Studios still is in charge of the comic books. Like above all things, it's like we don't have Lightning Collection, don't care. We don't have like any news on anything project wise coming forward. It is what it is. The fact that the comic books are still going strong says a lot. And I even think, just to add, the fact that they're still doing Ranger Academy should say something.
yeah, I'm curious. Like, is Power Rangers like their most successful IP?
Gotta
on
be.
Boom?
Gotta
I
be.
think
I,
it
I know
is.
it's their longest running, but I
Yeah.
would imagine it has to be their most
You see those
successful one,
Kickstarters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The numbers that those put up?
Yeah, bro.
too. Yeah, I guess so.
You saw
the
Well,
jackets?
it's
They
because,
fighting-
and it's because the
The
quality.
jacket, yo, come on,
quality.
son. Hell yeah.
Fucking jackets. I forgot about that shit. Yeah, where's y'all got the jacket? I know me and Tech got the jackets.
I still got the jacket.
I got mine.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he even got a shirt right now. Crazy.
That's crazy. Yes, that'll be it for this edition of Power Rangers Academia. Make sure you guys are following all the socials in the comment section below, the description below, and leaving a comment and a like and subscribe. And if you want to hear more from us, definitely feel free to drop your suggestions as to what other discussions or tier lists, if we ever get back around to doing those in the future. And as always, Make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. May the power protect you. Keep it locked later right here on this channel. Stay safe, stay clean, stay inside, and we'll see y'all next time.